Did you Jay-Z? Wow, I heard he's home like a pony blue. I made no Beyonce you truly have him secured. I have eyes for him, however. I'll let you know that much. Did you actually have an inquiry music? In the mid-2000s, Blu Cantrell was quite possibly of the greatest name in Arba, and even kept Beyonce honest sorry her cash. And her man tracks like Hit 'em Up Style, and Inhale shot up the graphs in the US and past. Yet following quite a while of progress, the artist vanished from the public eye. So what truly ended up? Cantrell keep close by to figure out more. I generally pay attention to jazz as a kid. It was something generally in my home. And you know a Manhattan moves Blue genuine name Tiffany Cobb moved from Rhode Island to New York City to attempt to make it as an artist when she was only 17 years of age, in spite of her conspicuous gifts. The capable vocalist had no karma in NYC, except for during an arbitrary visit to Atlanta to visit her sister. Somebody at last checked out her. She had been visiting the city when somebody moved toward her in a lodging hall and told her that she seemed to be an artist entertaining. They ought to say that. And I said, well, truly, I'm an artist. I got it was a pickup line, yet he carried me to Red Zone. And they marked me after they heard me sing Blue told Post Star in a 2001 meeting. In a little while, Blue had 5 different record names, battling for her to sign with them, which is a smidgen more like it if you were to ask me in the long run. She consented to sign with Arista Records, however. She might have endorsed on that dabbed line excessively enthusiastically while he was human. She delivered her most memorable single Hit 'em Up Style in April 2001, and it was a prompt raised a ruckus around town, arrived at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, and surprisingly procured her a Grammy selection for Best Female R&B Vocal Execution. Pretty fair for your very first single. Recall, close to this time, Beyoncé was additionally hitting her top in the music business. Excited netizens may have seen that Hit 'em Up Style truly began doing the rounds again as of late because of TikTok. Well, that is on the grounds that it's an exemplary hit. The achievement went on for Blue that year with the arrival of her presentation collection, So Blue, which was insured platinum. She was off the entire way through 2003, when she delivered her second collection Mixed, which incorporated the hit single Breath highlighting Sean Paul, which unintentionally additionally turned into a TikTok hit, and acquired her second Grammy designation, this time for Best R&B Collection. And that is the point at which her issue with Sovereign Cove started. Man, in the midst of all her prosperity, Blue was continually tormented with bits of hearsay that she had an extraordinary fight with Wiz Beyoncé. Obviously, Beyoncé is seemingly the greatest pop star in this present reality. Yet in the mid-2000s, Miss B had quite recently sent off her performance profession with the collection Perilously Enamored, and was in the beginning phases of her relationship with Jay-Z, since Blue had a dear kinship with Jay, and was delivering Diagram Beating or Be singles close to a similar time as Bob began to. It was inevitable. Before the murmurs began, Blue demanded to anybody who asked that nothing was happening among her and Jay. However, she once owned up to Wendy Williams that she had eyes for him. I actually have a keen interest in him. Now she spilled it doesn't really matter to me who he's dating. I generally had eyes only for him. Gossipy tidbits about a quarrel were filed considerably further when Blue called attention to the similitudes between her melodies and Beyoncé's addressing the Watchmen. She noticed that the music video for Beyoncé and Jay-Z's tune Bonnie and Clyde looks horrendous like the promotion for her Melody Gathering, which came out first. Music. If you truly have any desire to go down the wormhole, Beyoncé murmurs in the tune signs. I was infatuated with a Sagittarius. I've been wounded by a Pisces. Currently, would you trust me in the event that I let you know that Jay-Z is a Sagittarius and Blue is a Pisces? Perhaps she's attempting to do it to get squeezed, yet I need to cause her to comprehend in the event that she goes there with me. It's some unacceptable move. Blue cautioned of the time she wants to comprehend what she's doing and what she's getting into. I'm an expert at saying I propose you take that last statement with a spot of salt. Beyoncé was clearly irritated by Blue's ascent to distinction and her free tone. Then the vocalist out of the blues just vanished in 2004. Blue achievement dialed back hugely subsequent to leaving her agreement, fundamentally in light of the fact that Arista essentially neglected to recharge it. One of my objective to being luckily. I'm here to have the option to say I'm making it happen. So I feel extremely honored. Really, at that time, did she understand that she hadn't gotten close to as much cash flow as she ought to have during her time at the name talking in a later meeting about what she would have done another way. Blue uncovered she wishes she'd have been more taught on the music business. Before she marked that Arista contract, I would have my legal counselor, since that attorney wound up addressing them, which was an irreconcilable situation. So they were all cooperating to essentially take what was mine. She guaranteed no one truly knows every bit of relevant information, yet me and them. Yet I was truly exploited. Well, I came out on the grounds that Jessica Maisel, obviously the superb Jessica Maisel, in addition to I heard Neo, who's a companion of mine, was performing somewhere else in the 2012 meeting. Blue uncovered where she had been throughout the previous few years. I expected to get some much-needed rest, she conceded. I invested a ton of energy abroad, and I was residing in London. And I wanted a break just to carve out margin for myself on the grounds that being a craftsman is a 24/7 thing. It's no rest, no eating. And it's a ton of difficult work. A portion of her fans, anyway, except Beyoncé, closely related to her unexpected non-appearance from the music scene. In that equivalent meeting, Blue prodded a third collection that she'd been chipping away at. And surprisingly, surefire that the delivery would go right to the top. Yet for reasons unknown or other, that collection never came around. The vocalist was most as of late found out in the open in Walk 2020. Just before the pandemic hit, she had been acting in London as a component of Fatman Scoop's legacy field visit, which likewise included specialists like Nelly, Shaggy, Eve, Maya, and Salt. And Peppa Blue, who was 44 at the hour of the visit, sounded similarly serious areas of strength for as could be expected, while she played out her mid-2000s hits, while discussing Sovereign Straight, going after her due to Jay-Z. In a past meeting, Blue said it appears individuals are saying Beyoncé removed him from you, yet that is false in light of the fact that nothing remained to be taken. We were simply companions. She made sense of looking strongly over her shades. She kept saying I have no enmity towards Beyoncé. And I could do without that entire thing. Perhaps we ought to get in front of an audience and fight it out. Experience each sing a tune in evident hamburger style. Yet she would rather not do that in the event that she is being pessimistic. She needn't bother with to be on the grounds that she's a lovely young lady, yet assuming you definitely dislike your man. And I don't have the foggiest idea what the circumstances with them. I would rather not talk on that yet. In the event that you have issues, address it with the person. Don't take it out on the young lady. It's never the best approach, Blue explained. And on the off chance that you can either address it, or you could imagine, until it explodes eventually back in December 2017, a larger number of than year and a half after Beyoncé shockingly indicated Jay-Z's swindling ways with her Dangerous Lemonade collection. He at last made sense of why he did it. In a meeting with T magazine, the rapper focused on the power couple's previous marriage battles, uncovering that seeing an advisor had assisted him with acknowledging what had made him stray. I became such a great amount from the experience he shares. Yet I think the main thing I got is that everything is associated. Jay made sense of he kept saying each feeling is associated, and it comes from someplace. And monitoring it in day-to-day existence puts you at such a benefit. You realize you understand that on the off chance that somebody's bigoted toward you, it ain't about you, it's about their childhood and what befell them and how that drove them to this point. You realize most harassers menace. It happens. Gracious, you got harassed as a youngster. So you're attempting to despot me, I comprehend. He deplored polishing off the very rich person rapper, said you need to get by, so you go into life mode. And when you go into life mode, what happens? You shut down all feelings. So even with ladies, you will close down sincerely. So you can't associate for my situation like it's profound. And afterward, every one of the things occur from that point, unfaithfulness. Well, Jay, your conning ways landed Blu Cantrell in a tough situation that is miserable. She might have vanished briefly, yet her previous music actually hit contrastingly. Where she'll spring up next is impossible to say. And that is all there is to it from us today. Until next time, thank you for observing.